Hey guys, this is Exellion. Can you believe it has not even been 3 months since the last quarterly update from Diablo 4? September has arrived and we are getting closer to that third quarterly update from the Diablo 4 dev team. Stick around and let's talk a little bit about what I personally would like to see and what they've already confirmed they'll be talking about in the next quarterly update. The last quarterly update from Diablo 4 came on June 26th. That was less than 3 months ago. Time has kind of eluded me as well as many other people. I don't even know what year it is anymore. The previous quarterly update came in February, at the very end of February. So it was technically 4 months, which is more than a quarter. But I think if we're talking in terms of fiscal years, a quarter is just Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. So the end of Q3 is upon us here in September, and we're getting into Q4 pretty soon. So we have to be expecting this Q3 update, this quarterly update as to what's going to be coming to Diablo 4 and their update to us, talking about some specific topics. So let's just recap real quick. At the very end of the June 26th update, which primarily discussed things like the team playtest that they have been going through, block out, storytelling, open world concepts, multiplayer, and touching more on items and progression. They mentioned, we are also excited to see the range of topics you want to hear about. Based on your response so far, we think talent trees are by far what you're the most eager to discuss. So we'll make sure to queue that up for our very next blog. Items continue to be a popular topic, and there was also a lot of interest in music. We are shooting to have more updates around those topics later in the year. Let us know how that sounds. So it is now later in the year, and I anticipate fully that we'll be talking about talent and skill trees, more stuff about itemization. We should. It's an ARPG. It's a looter. We need to have some good items. We need to have that proper itemization, and also about music. Personally, I think talking about music is a phenomenal idea. I don't think it's the most important thing that's on people's minds. I would like to know more about what music we can expect, what types of music, what sort of ambience, what sorts of environments we're going to be getting ourselves into. And music adds so much to these environments. Now, a couple of things that I personally would like to see out of this next quarterly update. Those three things, of course, but I also want to learn more about some other topics. Crafting was talked about originally when Diablo 4 was announced. They talk about being able to craft certain items, and they didn't really go into depth about that. I would like to learn more about that, about the materials. If there are going to be materials for crafting, is it going to be like a Diablo 3 experience where we collect crystals and arcane dust and reusable parts and just turn them into stuff? Like, that was pretty boring in my opinion. It just felt kind of mind-numbing. Is there going to be a crafting skill? Are we going to have to obtain this skill, level it up so that we can craft better things? Is it going to be a profession like crafting? Again, I hope it's not like that. I want to know, as a D4 enthusiast, I want to be able to know more upon what concepts I would like to see from this next update. I want to see a little bit more about world events. They talked a little bit about some world events, you know, bosses spawning, and maybe you get jumped by a cannibal horde or something like that. But what other kinds of world events could we encounter, and how frequently, and are they going to vary by region? Like, I'm sure that all these things are being taken into account, and I'm sure that they're on top of it, but I would like to learn a bit more about world events. Speaking of the world, we know so very little about the world. We've been shown concept art, we've been shown a little bit of gameplay in each different region and some screenshots, but tell us more about Skazglen, about Fractured Peaks, Hawazar, Kegistan, and even the Dry Steppes. Like, tell us a little bit more about them. Give us some more footage to work with. These next topics are probably not going to be talked about just yet, but these are things I would like to know about a little bit more in depth. Trading is something that they talked about again initially when Diablo 4 was announced. And the way that they had put it, I heard a bunch of grunts and groans in the crowd at BlizzCon when they were talking about trading and what their plans were for it. So I think they're going to be taking that back to the drawing board and sort of reviewing what the best trading method and trading style is going to be. I'm eager to know more about Endgame for Diablo 4. I think far too often do games come out with all of this hype and you get all this build up, and then you get to the end of the game. You've acquired all of the best gear that you can, because as you know, gamers, they're very prone to min-maxing and getting to that very max level as soon as possible, getting all the best gear, and they do it quickly. So are key dungeons the only endgame experience we'll be having in Diablo 4? What other endgame experiences are we going to be running into? Are there going to be raid bosses that we have to actually go to? Are there going to be special obstacle course style dungeons we can go through, kind of like Path of Exile? Like, give me something more. What other endgame experiences can we expect? And last but not least, I think it's important that we learn a little bit more about the additional classes that we'll be having. They did talk about that there will be 2 additional classes at least at launch. So we'll have 5 total classes at launch, and there will be more as DLC. And there's a lot of speculation about what those classes might be. Some people have said Amazon Paladin, some people have said Assassin. We don't know, but I would like to get a little bit more insight into that, because all we have now is the Druid, the Barbarian, and the Sorceress, which they are fantastic classes. I love those choices. The Druid in particular, it seems so much fun to play. But I would like to learn a little bit more. So hopefully we'll learn more about this from the September 2020 quarterly update. I predict that we will learn more as, let's do a quick summarization. Talent trees and skills, items, game music are confirmed to be in the next quarterly update. And then I would like to learn more about crafting, world events, and tell us a little bit more about the next regions that we'll be encountering in Diablo 4. That's it for me, guys. Just a quick little blurb to you all out there on YouTube. Feel free to drop a comment below on what you guys think might be coming in the September 2020 quarterly update. I'm eager to know more. I'm eager to experience this update with you guys and go over it and really dig into it. If you liked the video, make sure you go ahead and drop a like on it. Go ahead and sub to the channel for more Diablo content coming in the future. Again, I am Exellion. It's been a pleasure. We'll see you next time.